Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this episode 2 on Bloomfield with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, I'm just working on my last cup of coffee here this morning, um, but I did get a phone call from TFS, and he's going to be loading up our tractor and bringing it down to us shortly. My wife and I have been talking over the last couple of days, and she has decided on uh, something she'd be interested in doing. And surprisingly, I guess there's a demand for organically grown potatoes. Who knew? I sure didn't. Anyways, so she'd like to have a small greenhouse put in to support that so we can grow potatoes year round. She also wants a small building, something the size of a large garden shed. That's where she's going to prepare the potatoes, clean them up, package them for sale. And she's also thinking about making some French fries and freezing them and selling them as well. She not only has a local buyer lined up, but apparently there's a buyer uh, near Edmonton who's interested. A fellow farmer actually has a little farm shop, and he is interested in getting some of those as well. So we're going to head out here in a little bit and see where we can maybe put these couple buildings. But I'm just going to finish my coffee, and I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Well, I better quit lollygagging around the house. I'm surprised the wife hasn't chased me out with a broom already. But let's go out and have a look. Now, I was thinking of originally putting the buildings down here, but I was taking a closer look at it and it's not as flat as I thought. And with this tree and the wellhead there, it's kind of going to be a little crunch for space, I think. So, although that was my first choice, I think we're going to have to pass on that. Now I do have some nice flat area here up behind the shop, but I really kind of want to leave that for farm expansion. And as I had mentioned earlier, she's going to have kind of a little sell point for her customers to come, and I don't really don't want them wandering through the farmyard back here. So as much as I don't want to do it, I think that leaves us with the only option of putting it here in our little grassy area. Now I could have nudged it up right against the shop, but then that would block it from getting the sun, the greenhouse that is. So I think this area is it. It's nice and flat and meets all the criteria. Keeps the look, there's TFS with our tractor. I better get the shop door open here. Look at that beauty. I'll have to get the wife and have her come have a look. Well, that didn't go as expected. I can still hear her laughing in the house. I don't know what she expected for her first tractor. I'd be rolling in with a quad track, but I don't think she was impressed. Uh, but I am. So TFS and I will get this unloaded and moved off into the shop, and we'll catch up with you in a few minutes. Well, TFS and I uh, got our tractor pushed in here. It's in the work bay. So I'm going to start working on that here shortly. But we can finish our conversation we were having when TFS showed up. So yeah, I think this is where we're going to have to actually put the greenhouse and the little cell point. Um, I'll probably try and stick a little spot for a parking lot as well. I was saying that I could push the greenhouse up against the building, but then that would block it from the sunlight. So I think we have no choice but to bring it out here into grass field. Um, that is west that way. So if it's sitting kind of in this area, it should get pretty good sun. We'll probably still have to throw some heat in there in the winter time here. It's going to get a little chilly, but she would really like to have potatoes growing year round. So, but I think the next thing is I'm excited to get looking at this tractor, even if the wife isn't excited about it. So I'm going to go in here and work on that, and I will bring you back in when I get that done. Oh, I forgot to mention, I was telling TFS about our uh, little adventure we're going on here with the potatoes. And because he has pigs, he said if we have any scrap potatoes, he has to actually buy potatoes in for his pig food, that he would take it from us. So uh, already another bonus. So this potato idea might work out okay. So anyways, I will catch up with you guys probably tomorrow sometime. Well, I spent the last, well, all of today and half of yesterday working on our tractor. You can see I gave it a wash. It's missing a little paint here and there. But even after his wash, my wife didn't think it was any better. You know, and I got thinking, when we started our farming adventure back when I was a kid, we had an acreage not dissimilar to this, and we were using actually an old Massey with probably pretty similar horsepower to this, about 50 horsepower. But I got thinking, back when we were doing that, that Massey was only 20 years old, and this tractor's what, like 70 years old? So I guess it would actually qualify as an antique. But anyways, the good news is I got looking at this issue with the clutch, and it's actually not the clutch itself, but part of the linkage, a part called the clutch fork. And you may have remember I mentioned a place called Vintage Iron in the States that have parts for these old tractors, and they indeed have one. It is a massive $25 US, so that would be about 50 bucks Canadian. So I'm going to go ahead and order that. You know, we should have it in a couple weeks, and that should get this thing running. But speaking of transferring money, in all the excitement of the tractor delivery, I forgot to transfer money to TFS. He phoned me up and gently reminded me of that fact. So I've got to go ahead and I will do that. So you'll see our money go down. I'll send him off 2,500 bucks, and I'm also going to send 50 bucks to Vintage Iron and get our parts ordered. Um, I did discuss the plans with the wife regarding the greenhouse and her little auxiliary building, and we have decided it's going to go in here. In fact, I have ordered the materials up and got the contractor organized. So that should be done here in a couple weeks, and we are going to put it in this area here. So I think that's going to be it here on the farm for, like I say, a couple weeks. So I will bring you back in when we get all that organized, and we'll see how we make out. See you then. Well, good morning. It's been 2 weeks since we last met. Just a reminder that we're on 8-day months, so 14 game days is 2 weeks. So that's what we've advanced. The contractors have finished their work. Put in a little building here. This cost us $10,000 for the building and the equipment inside that we need to process our organic fries and our premium organic potatoes. We added a few amenities, including a bench under this nice tree here, that if a customer wants to come and sit and enjoy the view and eat their fries, they certainly can. We put in the greenhouse. Now this wasn't too expensive. This only cost us $2,500. And of course we had to put in the cement pad here and pay for landscaping. So that's why our money went down. And then it's bounced back up a little bit over the last little while because of the wife's ongoing income. Now, the added benefit of this greenhouse is that in addition to getting potatoes, we're actually going to get some sugar beet as well. But we do need to provide it with seed, lime, and manure. So I'm going to have to get that sorted out because we want it to be organic. But as luck would have it, and believe me, it was luck, our little production building can handle sugar. So we're going to have organic sugar that we can sell and distribute as well. So that's all worked out rather nicely, I'd say. But if we go over here, the real exciting news is the part came in from the States, and the old farmall is back on the road again. So that's pretty exciting. So let's jump in and take her for a spin. And we'll go up and check out uh, our plot of land because something's been decided there as well. The old girl just purrs. Oh, she's not very fast. I see we just went by our diesel tank. We should probably look at getting a little diesel in there too, or fuel, because we'll be needing some of that. Tractor, field. We must be farmers. Anyways, wife and I are talking about what we might put in this field and came up with the idea of putting potatoes in here for a couple of reasons. TFS needs potatoes and he doesn't have a local source from it. He's been buying them for his pigs. And if we grew them organically, the wife could use them in her business. And potatoes are grown in Alberta, and I know of one fairly good sized commercial potato outfit actually that's less than 2 hours south of here, between Redwater and Fort Saskatchewan. So I don't see why they wouldn't grow good here. So what we're going to do, or what I did, I should say, is I went online and was looking for some small potato gear, and I actually found a farmer down near Tabor. He was cleaning up, and he had some old small potato equipment that he was getting rid of. His wife had actually suggested that he try and sell it, and he didn't think anybody would be smart enough to buy it. That's what I told my wife. The word he used might not have been smart, but might have been another S word that rhymes with Cupid. But anyway, he was selling, I was buying. But he asked me if I happened to have a small trailer for carting it, and I said I did not. And he said he had a rather sturdy little trailer that he would be willing to sell. And basically, he said if I bought the trailer, he'd pretty much throw the other stuff in. He said it hadn't been used for years, had no idea about his working condition. And so if he said I paid $5,000 for a lot, he'd be happy. He said he even provide a taillight warranty. What that is, as soon as he can't see the tail lights of the truck that picks it up, it's auto warranty. So I'm going to send him $5,000, and I'm going to send TFS $500, and he's going to pick it up. And he said he could do that for us tomorrow. So I will send off that $5,500, and we'll meet up with you tomorrow. Well, it's the next afternoon. We are down here at Ben's. I called ahead to see if he had lime and seeds available in packaging that we could handle by hand, and he said he did. So let's go and check out and see what he has. So he has these seeds in 50-liter bags for $40 a bag. So I'm not really sure how much we need, but let's take 4 of those. That's a couple hundred liters. That'll get us started anyway. So buy that. And he also has lime in 50-liter bags. So let's take 4 of those. Like I said, not sure how long that'll last us, but that'll at least get us started. Oh, there's TFS calling. Just give me a minute. Well, TFS was calling to see if I had my Class 1 license. I told him I did. The reason he was asking was he's up at my place with that potato equipment, and my wife had offered for him to take her car so he could leave, and then I could return his truck, which is no problem, except I am just shocked that my wife would volunteer her car. She hardly lets me drive it. That's her baby. But anyways, I guess that's the plan. He also asked when I bring his truck back to stop around and make sure I talk to him. He's got something he wants to show me. So we will do that. But there was something else I wanted to look here at Ben's. He has this trailer, 2,000 liter capacity. We need a small trailer to haul water for our greenhouse. I think this will probably do the trick. It's not too costly. And so I think we'll buy that as our first new purchase for on the farm, our first new piece of gear. Well, I'm going to get these bags loaded up, and I'm hoping I can hook this onto the truck and drag it home. I could bring the farm all down, but it's a little bit of a trek, and it's pretty slow. But we won't be able to go too fast. Those really don't look like road tires. So I'll get this loaded up and hooked up, and I'll catch up with you in a minute. Well, I was able to get everything loaded up here. You can see our fertilizer or lime and seed bags in the back, and this tanker did hook up to the truck. It actually was a pin hitch, but it hooked up. We'll take it. Just like I said, I don't think I can go down the road too fast. This doesn't look like it was made to travel at high speed, but I'm gonna head back to the farm and I'll catch up with you there. Well, there's TFS's truck with all our stuff on it. I'll just park this up over here for now, and we'll get this taken care of here first. Well, I only seen the pictures, but it does look old. But hey, didn't cost us very much. And as long as we can get it working, that's the main thing. Let's get it unstrapped here. Ramps down. And we can put our farm all to work for the first time. Now this ramp setup isn't the handiest for the tricycle geared farm all here. Have to get a little tricky. Oops. Didn't like that, it was sliding a little bit. No, I don't know why it's doing that. Didn't do it the last time I loaded it. Let's see. Oh, we can. We'll get the stuff taken off and then we'll deal with it later. Now the farmer I talked to said he was going to throw in a drawbar. He said we'd probably need it because he's familiar with the tractor we're using. So we'll put that on and take his advice. Interesting. Does it make a difference which way this thing's turned? Oh, yeah, obviously it would. we'll try that. There we go. Now let's see if we can get this up on this trailer. Could be a little tricky. What I did before is just hook a tricycle gear. Look at that. Just like I knew what I was doing. Don't let looks fool you. Well, it is kind of a nice little trailer. You can put that to use. Oh, didn't get her quite right that time. Could only do her one time. Oh my goodness. And it looked so professional the first time. I should have just quit recording then. Maybe I'll try catching it on this side here. There we go. Whoops, 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 whoops. Not too far now. Oh, you're kidding me. There we go. Now, I think we can, one of these controls will lower that drawbar down here. Oops. We'll just cheat going down. Well, there we go. We'll just park this up over here. It's getting dark, so we can take care of that later. Let's get TFS's truck back to him. And he did want us to stop in and have a chat with him, so I will head down there and we'll catch up with you at his place. Well, there's TFS's place. I can see my wife's car sitting there. And he said there was an entrance just south of the main farmyard that we can get in. And he said just to pull in the truck by the shed. So we'll do that. We'll keep an eye out here. Oops, there it is. It's a little hard to see. It kind of sneaks up on you with all the bushes, but luckily no one was coming. Oh, that's a neat little trail in through there. Another very kind of typical thing you'll see in Alberta. So he said just to park it up along here and he'll take care of it. And let's go and see if he's home and see what it was he wanted to talk about. I'll catch up with you in a minute. Well, if we look over here, this is what TFS wanted to show us. tucked away in this bush here, you can barely see it, is an old two-bottom plow. There it is. You can just see the back end of it there. I guess when he was up at my place, my wife was telling him about our plans. He went out and looked at the field, and he said we should plow that first, and that he had an old plow that would probably work behind our farm wall. So that's what he wanted to show us. So he said if we brought the farm wall down and picked that up, we could have it for a couple $100. So I guess that seems like a good deal. Maybe that's why my wife let him take her car, because he's in cahoots with her on this whole potato deal. Anyways, I'm going to jump in her car and take it home, and I think then we'll just organize the yard just a little bit because I threw stuff off, and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow morning because I think we're pretty much done for today. So we'll see you tomorrow morning. Well, good morning. Finished with my breakfast and coffee, so ready to head out and start today. Oh, looks like we got a little snow overnight. Because I kind of tucked everything away last night. I put the planter and the harvester in the shed back over there. I brought the trailer in here because what we're going to do today is we're going to go through it and make sure that it's ready to be used, check the bearings, so on and so forth. Because we've got the seed and lime in my pickup here for the greenhouse, but we need manure, so I'm going to talk to TFS and see if I could get some manure off of him, because I noticed he had a pile of it sitting there by his pigs. Speaking of TFS, I need to send him a couple $100 and go pick up that plow. I'm wondering if TFS's money problems ended when we arrived, because it seems like I'm sending him money every day. So that's the plan for today. Do the maintenance on the trailer, get the greenhouse up and running, and pick up the plow from TFS. And then if we have any time, I'll bring in the planter and seeder into the the planter and harvester into the shop and see what it might need. Yeah, because if we need parts for it, we're probably going to have to wait a while. That might take some searching. But we'll have to do all that in the next episode because I believe we are out of time. So if you're still with me, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you found this entertaining or informative in any ways, please hit that old like and subscribe button. And if you want to see when other content like this lands, hit that old notification bell. But for this episode, that's a wrap. Till next time, Farmer Murphy signing off.